one step closer to this weekend's Toyota Owners 400 at Richmond Raceway. Alex Hayden here to bring you some qualifying action. We got to see who had the speed in practice, and even after some mock runs, we're all interested to find out who can deliver when it counts. There's certainly a few names that immediately come to mind. Toyota and Joe Gibbs Racing have dominated here lately, but there's no gimmies in this series. Qualifying sets the field, and although this is a multi-groove track, it's still a short track. You want to put yourself towards the front because passing is going to be tough. Just because you add speed in practice doesn't always mean it'll translate to a quick 2-lap run. We'll see who can put their name at the top of the pylon today. Let's go trackside for qualifying.
And as we are about to do that, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into tonight's stream as we are NASCAR Cup Series racing on NASCAR 22. And here this evening it is going to be an interesting one, to say the least, as we have our first race at the Richmond Raceway on the season. Of course, both Richmond Raceway races in 2022 were in the regular season. So because we have two races, same length, both daytime, same track, that is why this is one of the 50% races, much like Phoenix, with that being the championship race. Wanted to make the first race there in the regular season much different. So this is our first 50% race second 50% race of the season. Now it is interesting to note, and one thing to note is that Kevin Harvick did win the first 50% race of the year at Phoenix. That was one of his better racetracks. It's also worth noting that Kevin Harvick in real life in 2022 at Phoenix finished first and second in both races, so I'm sure he'll have a fast car today. Coming off a last place finish at COTA, not great despite the fact that he won stage number 2 and also finished second in stage 1. Received quite a few stage points, but he did lose 2 spots in the point standings. He comes in tonight third in the standings, but he is only a matter of 4 points, or I should say 2 points behind Martin Truex Jr. in second, and then William Byron, who won at COTA, is now the points leader, and he comes in just 4 points ahead of Martin Truex Jr. and 6 points ahead of Kevin Harvick. So we'll keep an eye on those three today as far as that goes. Truex still without a win this season, so he is the highest on points without a win thus far. We've had 5 different winners in the first 6 races of the season. Harvick, the only repeat winner when he went back-to-back, winning the 50% race at Phoenix and then a 100% race on the Super Speedway at Atlanta. We're going to get qualifying underway. Kevin Harvick was 13th fastest in practice. Expert difficulty stability help is on for the short track race, and you're going to be seeing some shifting every corner around this racetrack through every lap of the race. And you're going to see just that right here in qualifying. Going to go with a little bit of an alternative camera angle view here. 2 laps on the short tracks to try to set the quick time for Kevin Harvick. Tried testing the downshift to third gear in the corners. It kind of worked at times. So I think on the older tires, and we know that there's a lot of tire degradation at Richmond, that we are likely going to see these guys downshift to third gear. Harvick already going to overdrive turns 1 and 2 on the opening lap up towards that outside groove. That's somewhere he wants to run. He felt he was faster down on the bottom. It's all right to clip that yellow line. Won't risk losing control. 22.202 on lap 1. Much better into turns 1 and 2. 3 and 4 was much better on that first lap as well. Back up to 5th gear, off turn 4, back to the start-finish line. Definitely quicker on lap 2, and that will be a pole time for Kevin Harvick. And that is, I believe, the 4th pole of the season for the 4 teams. So 4 poles already on the year, and a lot of the poles that we have had have been because the AI are slower in qualifying than what they are in practice in the race. So if that is the case, we'll find out. Obviously at Phoenix, William Byron got off to a pretty strong start. Harvick passed him with a couple laps to go in stage number 1 for the stage win, and then he was untouchable the rest of the race. We'll see how this one's going to go. Doubt we're going to be seeing any pit stops in stage 1. It's going to be a short stage, and the fact that it's a 50% race, and we'll probably go from there on the pit strategy. Wade Selensky, Emery Holly, thanks for tuning in. Amori Holly, however you say your name, hopefully I said it correctly. Either one of the 2 times.
Welcome to Richmond Raceway for the Toyota Owners 400. I'm Alex Hayden, and we're getting ready to bring you intense short track racing here in the heart of suburban Richmond. At this high-speed short track, tire management is key, so watch out for the drivers that can best balance performance and tire life.
And even Chase Elliott's hair's flat.
Let's head down trackside where the drivers are just about ready to get the racing action underway.
All right, we'll take a look at today's starting lineup before we get into the race in its entirety. Went too far. There it is. We mentioned Kevin Harvick's on the pole. We obviously saw that moments ago. Eric Jones will start on the outside of the front row in second in that Petty GMS Chevrolet. He comes into this race just outside the point standings, running about 18th in points through the first handful of races this season. Ross Chastain and Eric Almirola in row number 2. Fords are really fast on the short tracks in 2022, so we'll see if Almirola will have a good run today. And for Chastain, he had a good run here in real life earlier this year. Scored a top 10. Cole Custer and Denny Hamlin in row number 3. Hamlin won the spring race in real life in 2022, and he's a multi-time winner at his home track. And Cole Custer, as well as Almirola, might be one to look out for. He does have a few top 10s already this season. Ryan Blaney and William Byron in row 4. Blaney looking for his first win of the season. He did get his first stage win at COTA in stage 1 and ended up not so hot in the finishing order. Ended up outside the top 30, as well as Kevin Harvick looking to bounce back today. William Byron, of course, won at COTA. He's locked into the playoffs, looking for more playoff points this afternoon. Chase Elliott and Kyle Busch will be in row 5, each looking for their first win as well. Into the race we go. Get to look at our bold crew chief one quick time, and that does not look like Rodney Childers, but for the sake of the game and for the sake of the realisticness of this... Oh, wait. Oh, no. I have it. I didn't put it down to 50%. Hang on. I'm going to have to re-qualify now. That was a waste of time. My bad. That's my bad. I had it on 100 still. Gosh darn it. I thought I had everything set and ready to go. I have to re-qualify. Watch me not qualify in the pole this time. Well, it looks like we're re-qualifying, unfortunately. Oh, I forgot I could have just put myself on the pole. Oh, well. I'll re-qualify. I guess I could use the extra practice. Billy Kramer, thanks for tuning in also. Can't believe I did that. It's a good thing I'm keeping track of points myself so it doesn't simulate the race when I back out. So that's the plus side.
We're one step closer to this weekend's Toyota Owners 400 at Richmond
We'll try this again.
Raceway. Alex Hayden here to bring
All right,
you
shut up, Alex
qualifying
Hayden.
action. We got
Come
to
on,
see who
skip,
had the speed in
skip,
practice, and
skip.
even
Let me
after-
skip you. Skip. There we go. All right, let's make sure it's saved the looser help with the stability. And we'll re-qualify. 2 laps. We'll try to do it again. Hopefully Eric Jones starts second and pretty much most of the starting order is the same. Hopefully. Davion West, thanks for tuning in. Man, almost got in the wall there off turn 4. All right, 2 laps. Overdrove the corner. I did the same thing my first qualifying section. I didn't do as bad of a job. I kind of got to the middle groove. I was stuck on the top. Both ends of the track, that was nearly identical. Actually, I was a little quicker. Probably because I didn't make as much of a mistake in turn 1. Alright, we're on the pole again. It looks like Blaney's starting second this time. He was in the top 10. Byron Bush was in the top 10. Jones was in the top 10. Custer, Hamlin. The only two drivers that qualified top 10 this time that didn't before were Truex and Logano. Elliott's 12th. He was one that was originally in the top 10. And the other one was Chastain's 16th. So outside of Chastain, really everybody else qualified at least about where they were going to ahead of time. Alright. Well, gives a few people that haven't tuned in yet extra time to tune in, at least. I had to re-qualify for those of you just tuning in because I had it set on 100%. I didn't realize it until I started the race. Regine Huddleston, thanks for tuning in. Alright, shut up, Alex. We listened to you twice already. 3 times, actually. That was 4. Alright, into the race we go. Hopefully no glitches tonight, no guarantees. Phoenix, we had a lot of cautions in that race. 18 to be total, to be exact, total. And now we head to the next short track of the schedule just a couple races later. Green flag is in the air. We're underway at Richmond. 200 laps, 35 of them in stage number 1. And on the outside, Ryan Blaney trying to go for the lead. Bush is up in the wall. Harvick's 3 wide middle. Gets slammed by Martin Truex Jr. Got sandwiched. That was a madhouse in the first turn. Harvick was trying to keep it off Bush. Did a good job. And then Martin Truex Jr. ended up getting into him. Not a clean lap for Kevin Harvick to start things off, that's for sure. William Byron to the lead at the front of the field. Harvick gave up the bottom. Cole Custer going to make a pass. Harvick going backwards off the start. Blaney trying to get around the second place car a little further up ahead. Contact between Chase Briscoe and Ryan Blaney off turn 4, and they got up into the wall. I did notice a lot of cars were hitting the wall off the exit of the corner. They typically run the top in practice. Truex and Blaney side by side. They nearly make contact off the exit of the corner. Truex slips going into turn 3. But Blaney got up into the wall, so Truex actually didn't lose too much time, and now we have a caution further back. So just a few laps in, caution flag is out. The leader got past the start-finish line, so I'm thinking I'm probably a lap down now. I think everybody from second on back might be a lap down. We'll see. William Byron will restart in the lead this time. Green flag back in the air. It's kind of an unfortunate start if that is the case. Really don't want to restart it. Suarez almost got underneath Harvick. Blaney up into the wall. Harvick's got a run on the 4. Byron going down to the apron to try to protect. Byron into the wall. Briscoe underneath him. Yep, literally everybody is a lap down except for William Byron. Byron's the only car in the lead lap right now. That's ridiculous. Blaney into the wall again. Harvick gets by him for 4th. Well, Byron's going to have an easy stage win unless we get another caution. Truex has come close to wrecking a couple times. Harvick wants to get back on the lead lap before the caution. He did not. Caution flag is out. And only 2 cars got back on the lead lap that time. So our second caution of the race. So just like Phoenix, we're seeing a couple laps and then a caution almost every time. Green flag back in the air. Harvick gets to the bottom quickly, though. He had a good jump on the outside. Didn't want to lose too many spots that time. Now he's trying to get back on the lead lap on the inside of the 14. Contact between Byron and Truex off turn 2 into 3. And caution's out again. Our 3rd yellow already of the race. This is going to be an interesting one. We might set a NASCAR record this time. We've come close to setting NASCAR records for cautions in recent races this week. We might get there. Andrew Soto, Patrick Shadley, though, thanks for tuning in also. Everyone pit this time. No, we're way too early in this race. I mean, I know Richmond does degrade tires quite a bit, but the AI aren't going to pit either. And Harvick needs to keep this track position so he can at least get stage points. Up to 3rd place on the restart. Green flag back in the air again. Already down to just 13 laps to go in this stage with the 3 cautions we've had. Most of the stage has been ran under the yellow. Harvick really trying to back the corner up. Gets alongside Chase Briscoe for 3rd. And maybe Harvick's back on the lead lap potentially and has a shot to win the stage as he dive bombs under Martin Truex Jr. for 2nd. He's got the spot. Remember, Harvick started on the pole but did not lead a lap. Side by side behind him between Briscoe and Truex for position. Harvick backing up the corner, going to get the run off the exit. Byron up near the wall. Harvick on the back bumper of the 24. Caution is out. Caution is out again. And Harvick will have to try another time. 6 laps to go. Green flag back in the air following the 4th yellow of the race. Harvick backs out of the throttle early, tries to get to the bottom, got into Byron into turns 1 and 2. Not able to get around him. And actually pushed the 24 car a little bit further out ahead off turn 2. Harvick wants a shot to win the stage. Caution comes out. It could end the stage at any moment, and there it was. Off turn 4. Caution came out. Stage is over. And William Byron is going to win stage 1 at Richmond. Kevin Harvick a close second. Chase Briscoe third. Cole Custer in 4th. Good day for SHR so far. Martin Truex Jr. in 5th. Eric Jones 6th. Daniel Suarez in 7th. Tyler Reddick 8th. Joey Logano 9th. Chris Buescher rounds out the top 10. So Byron picking up where he left off. That's another playoff point for him this season. I believe the first stage win of the year for William Byron, and it is. So Byron going to pick up his first stage win of the season now. In the 6 races we've had so far this season, nobody scored a top 10 in every race this year, but the only drivers to score a top 10 in 5 races this season would be William Byron. And that's it, actually. He's the only driver to score, or I should say he has the most top 10s this year, but he's the only driver to have 5 top 10s in these first 6 races this season. So he's definitely off to a hot start. That's why he's leading the regular season point standings, and he'll add to that lead with the stage win. Harvick only came in 6 behind him. He's going to be 7 back after stage 1. And then Truex came in 2 points ahead of Harvick, so Harvick's actually 2nd in the standings now. And the gap is 7 points between himself and Byron for the regular season points lead. Joshua Rumsey, thanks for tuning in also. Take a screenshot real quick, and then we'll get the next stage underway. I gotta wait for this to load. Give me a quick sec. Go. Got it. All right. So on to the next stage. Gonna stay out of the pits, try to keep this track position because we keep getting cautions so often. We have 80 laps in stage 2. Green flag is in the air. Remember, William Byron could be a lap or 2 ahead of the field right now. With the cautions coming out, and Briscoe just squeezed his teammate into the wall for 2nd. Briscoe Byron into the wall. Little contact with the 14. Harvick needs to get by Byron. Sends it into the corner, slides up the racetrack, clears the 24. Byron gets to the back bumper of Harvick. A lot of the cautions have been coming out in turns 3 and 4 rather than 1 and 2. Byron back to the top. Harvick stays in front of him. Caution's out. So Harvick is going to hopefully get 1 lap back there. We'll see if he'll be on the lead lap this time. And we're 9 laps into the second stage. 80 laps, by the way, in stage 2. Final stage will be pretty close to it. Harvick's doing a good job, though, in these restarts, getting to the bottom quickly despite restarting up on the outside. Daniel Suarez just hit Harvick middle of the backstretch for no reason. He came off the wall. Sideswiped the 4. Harvick with a run anyway off turn 4 to the inside of the 24 car again. It's still not on the lead lap. So he was at least 2 laps down. Now he's back on the lead, hopefully the lead lap. He's gotten another lap back. We had 5 cautions in stage 1, 1 early yellow in stage 2. Tyler Reddick going to get by Byron as well. Christopher Hogan, thanks for watching. Like the game with the new update compared to NASCAR 21. I think it's slightly better, but it's still not a good game at all. I've noticed Richmond and Phoenix have been the best ovals I've raced at so far. With the short tracks, it feels good. The only problem is that you get cautions on a repetitive basis if you have cautions on. And you have to have cautions on if you want stages on if the race is long enough. So it's kind of tough. And if there was no cautions, then you would have that glitch with the field stopping quite a bit. This is the longest green flag run, though, of the race so far. We've gone about 5 laps. Harvick is showing he's got the fastest car in the field. It just takes him a few laps after the restart to really get going. If he could time the restart out well enough to keep the track position, he's off to a little bit better of a start. But he's in second. Again, William Byron who won stage 1. A little bit different scenario for that 24 car right now. And by the way, this could potentially be a one-stop race. It'll be interesting to see if it's going to be a one or a two-stopper. As far as fuel purposes go, haven't worn out the tires much considering we've had a lot of cautions already. NASCAR Heat 5 DLC update? No, I don't plan on it. And there's a caution. Hopefully Harvick's back on the lead lap now. We got to keep staying out just in case. They'll line up on the front row again. Green flag back in the air. Lap 21 in stage 2. Harvick can't get to the bottom quickly this time on the 24, so he's going to have to stay high. Now gets to the bottom in the middle of the corner. Backs it up in the center. Gets underneath the 24 and they're door-to-door. Will it be for the lead this time? Into turns 3 and 4. Harvick is going to clear Byron. Still not. How many laps down are we? You mean to tell me I was 3 laps down? This is ridiculous. Everybody's 3 laps. Well, Harvick isn't anymore. Unless I'm 3 down again. I don't know. We've had 7 cautions. I've been in front of him for 2. I mean, that's crazy that literally everybody... So many laps down to William Byron right now. I mean, this is going to be an easy win for Byron if the game doesn't allow me to get however many laps down I am back. There's no way of telling. Harvick's just got to keep running his own race and hope for the best, really. We know we're going to get a pit stop at some point in time. A little over a quarter tank of gas left. I've noticed the last couple green flag runs, in stage 2 at least, were a lot longer than the runs we had in stage 1. But 7 cautions. Let me know down in the chat if you think we're going to break the NASCAR record with 22. Both the races we've had cautions like this, they happen to be 50% races. So I'm sure when we come back here for a 100% race later in the season, we'll probably have more of the same and more of a chance to break it if we don't today. I'm Patrick, and you can't see me. Thanks for tuning in. Cy Z, also welcome into the stream. I see you in the chat. Hit that like button, subscribe for more daily NASCAR content if you haven't already for just tuning in. Still in the first half of this 50% race at Richmond tonight. The nice thing is we don't have to worry about the tires falling off the race car right now. At least for this fuel run. I'm thinking it's going to be a 2-stop race today. By the way it looks. There's a lot of tire fall off at this racetrack, so you really, really got to be on the right strategy if you're going to want a shot to win this race. It's going to be tough, though, to get a different winner tonight, considering Byron is, God only knows how many laps ahead of the field. He's not as fast as some of the other cars. He just happened to qualify really well. Got to the lead off the start when that first caution came out on lap 3. He was ahead of the start-finish line, and that had happened a couple times. At least 3, apparently. I think it's my OBS. I keep looking for an update. I really hope I don't have to get another new laptop. It froze on me during the stream the other night. Like 2 or 3 nights ago now. And ever since then, I've noticed it's slow. And I've noticed my laptop's only slow when OBS is running. When OBS isn't running, my laptop's not slow at all. It's not lagging. But when OBS is running, it's lagging. which is a huge problem considering that's what I stream with. Big Dog, thanks for tuning in. I mean, in this race, yeah. You talk about this weekend, he's suspended. Gonna alternate through the different camera angles for the first time today while we're on this little bit longer green flag run. Harvick fined $100,000 for the Wallace Larson incident. I like how you changed that name. I saw Tony Stewart reacted to a tweet. I actually had saw the tweet originally. I thought it was funny, and then I saw Tony Stewart reacted to it like later on. Made it even more hilarious. I'll have to get into lap traffic potentially for Kevin Harvick. Maybe he's going to have to make up the time the old-fashioned way. You never know. At this rate. I will say, I've gotten accustomed to the shifting on the short tracks between Phoenix and Richmond, at least. Martinsville might be a little tougher, considering it's a lot more laps. And that is the next race of the schedule, too. And that is a full race. As the spring race is 400 laps, not 500 anymore. It'll be a little bit shorter than the playoff race we'll have there later in the season. Harvick's passing the lap cars pretty cleanly right now. They're mainly running off the bottom, so it makes it a bit easier. Harvick couldn't make the pass on Greg Biffle that time. Definitely stuck behind the 44 car a little bit more. Beats him back, though, through the shifts. He clears him up off turn 4. Does seem like Harvick's a bit better in turns 3 and 4 than 1 and 2. He's really trying to round the corner off this time through 1 and 2 to get a run on Cody Ware. He had so big of a run, he had to lift again off the exit of the corner to keep from running into the back of Ware, who has heavy damage on his car already on the back bumper. Probably involved in at least one of the many cautions we've seen in the early going of the race. Oscar Maris Herrera, thanks for tuning in. Remember, going to be seeing pit stops fairly soon as well. Nobody pitting during any of the 7 cautions thus far. You have to keep an eye on cars on when they decide to pit, because you'd have to imagine it's going to cause some major stacking up in 3 and 4, and heck, might even cause a caution. Definitely going to have to be on high alert. Down to the bottom, hooked to that yellow line as he's trying to pass Corey LaJoie in the 7, and he'll clear him up off of turn 2. I didn't see any cars pit in practice, so I don't know exactly what a line may be, because it's pretty exaggerated in this game, their driving line when they are pitting. Contact with Ty Dillon. Very brief contact, though. Turner, thanks for tuning in. Dive into the corner, by far the longest green flag run of the race so far. Little less than halfway to go yet in this stage. It's weird that I'm staying on the same strategy as the AI, because I usually don't do that when we have cautions throughout the course of a stage, but we have to today. And it's for the sole reason that I was going to say it's for the sole reason that Byron had gotten ahead of everybody by multiple laps with all the cautions coming out. So Harvick has gotten at least 3 laps back so far. He's got indicated that he's got about 5 laps of fuel left, so we'll see if that's going to be about accurate for Kevin Harvick. We haven't seen anybody hit pit road yet. You don't want a short pit if a caution comes out. Harvick's going to end up losing even more laps. He's been in second pretty much the whole race. And you'd hate to be even further behind the 8 ball to Byron. So maybe about 4 more laps of fuel left if the crew chief is correct. The inside of Austin Dillon going into the corner. Oh, contact just squeezed Dillon into the wall. I think Austin was appreciative of that. Harvick staying out again. Off turn 4. Made his way halfway through the field as far as the lap traffic goes. Bubba Wallace in 19th, Denny Hamlin right in front of him in 20th. Yeah, crew chief saying it's been about that many laps. You hate to have to short pit. We've got cars pitting this time. Harvick's going to stay out 1 more lap. It's very risky pushing it this far on fuel, but Harvick is really risking it because he does not want to have to pit under green flag conditions if he can help it. I practice pitting in practice, but Harvick's going to have to come in this time, and he's going to have to hope it stays green. 35 miles per hour is the pit road speed limit. And he will get down to that pit road speed. He's got the number 1 box after qualifying on the pole. Kevin Harvick is in. He'll lead his first lap of the race. Means Byron had pitted just before him. Dawson Fair, Ace of Spades, thanks for tuning in also. Yeah, you just have to update the game. There's a DLC patch. But all you have to do is just update it. So if you go to play, like I know on PS4, it'll ask you as soon as you open the application if you want to play before updating. It did take a couple hours, and I have 5G internet, high speed. So it'll probably take you a while, especially if you don't have high-speed internet. But something to do like overnight if you just keep your PS4 in rest mode. Oh, I have the damage repair on. Oh, that's not good. Because this is going to cost Kevin Harvick some time in the pits, to say the least. He's going to be in second place still. Out of the pit box he goes. We've actually cycled through green flag pit stops at Richmond, despite all the cautions we had. Now, we know we're going to get 1 more yellow with the stage break, so we'll see how things may potentially space out there. But for right now, so far so good. And fresh tires back in the 4 car. So much speed, he carried a little bit too far into the corner that last time. Larson cycling out of the pits back at 39th. He had a slow stop. Go back back to the far chase cam for now, at least. Larson getting some spots back. He pitted a couple laps after Harvick, so you can definitely tell that 5 car's got a little bit fresher tires than him right now. Chris Buescher is in 3rd. He's about a second behind Harvick. Oh, 1 car slid sideways going into the corner. That was Corey LaJoie in the 7. Down on the bottom. Did get around Balicki already. There. Damage indicator isn't on already. The final stage is going to be just a few laps longer than this stage. I wonder if you pit at the stage break, if you can maybe make it on field to the end from there. It's going to be risky. You really want to keep this track position if you're Kevin Harvick. But at the same time, you just wonder how many laps back behind Byron you are. There's still no way of telling that. Took 8 hours for your game to upload? Yeah, I know. I thought the Coliseum was going to be added also. It's probably because it's an exhibition race. They haven't had exhibition races in NASCAR in a long time. In the NASCAR video games, at least. I don't know if the Utechnics games had them. I think they did for the career mode, but that might have been it. They don't even have it for the career mode on this game. Larson back up to 20th. He just had to wait for some other cars to pit for him to cycle back around. And he is closing right back in on Harvick. Harvick trying to throw a block into the corner. Really low is Harvick that time. It's going to be tough for Larson to get to the outside and actually pass Kevin Harvick up there. He's got a lot of pressure from behind as well from Martin Truex Jr. Truex back at 39th. One way or another, he has really fallen back after finishing 5th at the end of stage 1. Truex to the inside of the 5 of Larson. He had a tire give out. Truex trying to make the pass on the 5. Out squeezed him up into the wall. He pulled a Larson on Larson. I didn't realize the face cam was off. I think I turned it off at the end of stage 1 by accident. My bad on that. Honestly, kind of scared to pause it and get it back on again, just in case we get a random glitch with the game. Everything's running smoothly right now. I'll wait till the next caution, which would be the end of stage 2 if we don't get one for incident. We're only 15 laps away. And at Richmond, you can get about 3 laps in about a minute. A lot of lap traffic upcoming for Kevin Harvick. Front car down onto the apron into the corner. All 4 tires. It's Todd Gillen in the 38. Really nowhere for Harvick to go right now. Definitely feel the dirty air effect as he's closed in much closer behind these cars in front of him. Contact up ahead, a couple cars side by side. Michael McDowell trying to make a pass. Overran the entry into the corner that time. Harvick still getting a decent drive off. Down to about 10 laps to go in the stage. I guess we'll know at the end of the stage if it finishes under green exactly how many laps Kevin Harvick's going to be behind. That'll be one way of telling. Really backed up the middle of the corner that time, trying to get a run on BJ McLeod. Gets to the inside of him off turn 4.
Clear.
Cars side by side. Well, Kevin Harvick's going to get a lot of stage points. Unfortunately, it's the regular season champion who's going to go on to win both stages the way things are looking right now. Michael McDowell going up the track, really body slamming Kyle Busch, ran him up into the outside wall. Big stack up there for Harvick to try to get down low to the bottom and get around those guys. Down to about 6 laps to go in the stage potentially. Harvick's got to run on the 42 of Ty Dillon now.
All clear.
Go back to the far chase cam for the rest of the race. Once we get to the start-finish line this time by. Four laps to go, stage 2. We'll probably get caution after caution after caution when we start the final stage. If you're Kevin Harvick, do you pit, put yourself in the eye of the storm, and try to hope that you can make it on fuel all the way through the end of the stage? You know the field's going to have to pit during green flag conditions in the final stage, and I think if you're Kevin Harvick, you pit. Problem is if we see a lot of cautions at the tail end of the field, it's going to be very, very difficult for himself to be back there and hope he doesn't risk getting into an accident. But at the same time, it's going to depend on how many laps down he is at the end of the stage. We might find out. First stage was 35 laps. Second stage was 80 laps. So that means lap 115 should be the end. Just getting to lap 114 at the start-finish line this time. Harvick gets by Hesmans. Off turn 4. Waiting for Byron to take that green-white checkered flag. Will it be this time by or will it be the following time by, though, is the question. Into turns 3 and 4. It was not that time, so Kevin Harvick, I believe, is on the lead lap. I think Kevin Harvick has made his way to the lead lap. It is a tough decision on whether you pit or not if you're Harvick. It is not easy. Byron not that farther up ahead, but he is going to go on to win stage 2. So Byron going to sweep the stages today for his first 2 stage wins of the season. Kevin Harvick second in both stages. Chris Buescher is going to finish 3rd, Tyler Reddick 4th, Cole Custer will end up 5th, Ryan Blaney in 6th, Chase Briscoe 7th, Joey Logano 8th, Chase Elliott 9th, and Eric Almirola will round out the top 10. I think William Byron, he is on the lead lap. The problem is, and I think the reason why I'm going to end up staying out, is because if I put myself at the back and I am on the lead lap, whether I'm on the lead lap or not, we get a caution, Byron gets to the start-finish line before I do again, we're going to lose more laps. So I think we have to stay out, hope we're on the lead lap, which I think we are to start this final stage. And it's going to be a 2-car race to the finish between the 24 and the 4, it appears. And maybe even more cars got back on the lead lap. I mean, I have no clue. We'll just have to get to the restart, and we'll go from there. And I'll get my camera back up also. So I forgot to put that up a little earlier. There we go. So not going to pit. It's a one-stopper to the end for everybody. Green flag is back in the air. Final stage underway at Richmond. That stage break was our 8th caution of the day. Harvick trying to go for the lead in the first turn. He gets into Byron. Byron holds on to it. Okay, I was going to say, it was showing Reddick around Harvick for position. Off turn 4. To the line. Harvick down low for the lead. He is on the lead lap. Well, slide job in turns 1 and 2. Kevin Harvick out in front of William Byron off turn 2. And Reddick on the lead lap as well, at least in 3rd. Custer would be now as he gets around Reddick. So a lot of cars back on the lead lap to start this final stage now. And it's a one-stopper to the end. 85 laps in the final stage total. A little over 2/3 of a fuel tank left for Harvick at least. And he is pulling away. First lap he has led on the track, not by staying out a lap or 2 longer than Byron from the pits the last time. Finally, Kevin Harvick is in the lead. And he's trying to go for his 3rd win of the season, 3 in the last 4 races. Jesse Colleton, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for everybody watching right now. Be sure to hit that like button. Subscribe for more daily NASCAR content if you haven't already. Realistic commentary for the video game side of things during the week and for the real races on the race weekend. And tomorrow night, we've got a special stream for you guys. We'll be road course racing. It will be on NASCAR 06 for our custom scheduled Cup Series season. And it will be at the Talladega Infield Road Course. That's going to be a fun one tomorrow night. 143 laps. That race is also under the lights at Talladega as well. So that is going to be a fun one. It'll be our 8th race of the season there. We had a great race at Talladega last night on the Oval on NASCAR 06. Ryan Newman got his first win of the season. We've had 5 different winners there in the first 7 races. We've had 5 different winners on this season in the first 6. We'll see if we get 7. Knowing that Reddick, Custer are back in the lead lap. And Cole Custer's up to 2nd place right now. He's outside the top 16. Bet that game kicks ass. Yeah, it does. A lot more than this. Brandon Ramsey, thanks for tuning in also. Harvick just completely overdrove the corner. Had to get way out of the throttle on the brakes a lot heavier that time. He's got a big lead, though. He just needs to not make a mistake. Easy to do in this game. Anytime you hit the wall, you're at risk of blowing a tire with us running on complex damage this season. It's nice to get some green flag racing in, though. Stage 1 was caution-filled. I don't think we had a green flag run longer than 6 laps. So then, the start of Stage 2 was like that until we got to a little less than 50 to go in the stage. And then we just ended up with a long green flag run to the end, over 50 laps. So, we'll see how it works out this time. Starting off 10 laps in without a caution. We got through green flag pit stops in Stage 2. We'll have to do that in Stage 3. You just got to hope a caution doesn't come out in the middle of green flag stops when you already pit if you're Kevin Harvick. That'd be the worst thing that could happen, and that would put him a lap down again. With a scoring, well, not even with a scoring glitch there. He's in the lead, so he won't be on the bad end of a scoring glitch if we did get a caution, so that's nice. Talladega Road Course, yep. Infield layout, it's like a roval. Won't want to miss it. We raced there in NASCAR 05 sometime last year, and we ended up having 36 cautions. It was definitely the most wild race we probably ever had on NASCAR 05, so we'll see. Hopefully we get more green flag racing this time, but you never know. It might be a survival of the fittest kind of a race, and we'll see if we can get Greg Biffle his 4th win of the young season. Only driver with multiple wins. We have 3, and 4 other drivers have 1. But it has been 3 races since I've won. I won the 2nd, 3rd, 4th races of the year, and then didn't win the next 3. So we'll see. We got a top 10 streak going on right now. Did finish 3rd at Dega in the Oval. The only race I haven't finished in the top 10 in was the Daytona 500. Blew an engine while leading with 90 to go, unfortunately, and that's why it's such a narrow points gap at the front of the field right now. Only 4 points ahead of Dale Jarrett after 7 races. Despite 6 top 10s in the first 7 races of the season and 3 wins. Jarrett's got 1 win. He's right there. He's finished top 3 back-to-back races. Just finished 2nd last night. And we'll come back to NASCAR 22 likely on Monday is what we're looking at as of right now. And again, our next race will be at Martinsville, and it will be a full race, 400 laps for that spring date. And it'll be under the lights as well. Predicting 40 cautions. Oh, jeez. Yeah, I don't even know if we have enough laps to do that, but we'll see. Lap traffic for the first time in the final stage for Kevin Harvick. Handful of seconds ahead of Cole Custer. You just get through these guys cleanly, stay out of trouble as much as possible. Get yourself in position. Still a little over half a tank of gas left. A lot of cars down to the apron, a lot of contact being made. Turns 3 and 4. Big stack up off turn 4. Harvick able to get down to the bottom underneath a few cars. One car shoving another up into the wall. Biffle's the one in the wall up off turn 4. A cloud coming off the wall to make contact with Kevin Harvick. Really about the only time Harvick's had contact with another driver today. He scraped the wall once. It was on the opening lap when he got stuck on the outside. Biffle getting crowded by Kaz Gralla again. No contact that time. This time there's contact. And 3 and 4. By the way, that Talladega infield layout is a fantasy track, for those of you wondering, because I saw a couple questions, they were a little confused. It's not a real racetrack. I mean, it's at a real track, considering it's at Talladega. Talladega not only doesn't have lights, but... Talladega would probably be the most wild infield to race through. Especially at night. I've heard some stories both at the track and away from the track about that place. Let's just say it's not PG rated, so we're not going to talk about it in detail. Needless to say, if NBC or Fox were covering the race, that they probably wouldn't have many cameras down there. You never know. Now, you are going to have to worry about those tires a little bit more on this run because Kevin Harvick's right rear is starting to burn out quite a bit. We didn't have to worry about that as much with all the caution laps that were ran the last time. But this time it's a little bit different. Kurt Busch chattering the front tires into turn 1. A little squirrely. Eric Jones, who qualified second back in 39th. Tough day for him. He was outside the cutoff line coming in. We're talking about the playoffs. It's only a 7 race of the season, but if we get more than 16 winners, I guess all those points are going to get basically washed away anyway. Harvick slid a little too far wide. Jones going to cross him over. Tire management's been pretty good for Harvick outside of that right rear currently. A little less than half a tank left. A bit over a third yet, though. About 4/8 of a tank of fuel left. Well, 4/8 is half. That's not. Well, 3 1/2/8. Ryan Blaney in the pits. He's pitting early. Maybe for tires. Or a DNF, potentially. Not be good. He also qualified pretty well. We'll see if we're going to get more cars to pit. Harvick trying to downshift the third gear. That time makes contact with Todd Gilliland. That didn't work out according to plan. Luckily, did not turn the 38 car. He was kind of squeezed against the wall hard enough that he couldn't spin out. I had such a big launch off the corner going down to third gear. I wasn't ready for it. Contact with the 48 of Alex Bowman, and he ends up in the wall in the middle of the corner. Another car pitting. Chase Briscoe. Man, it is a gamble. The longer you stay out, the more likely you are to lose time if some of these other drivers behind you in the running order start to pit. But the problem is going to lie... The problem is going to lie, though, for Kevin Harvick when we cycle through, if we cycle through. But you don't want a short pit and a caution come out, so it's kind of a lose-lose situation when you're the leader in this circumstance. You almost have to just play it out and then go from there. Gets by Michael McDowell. He's sitting behind him for a few laps. Finally able to outbrake him and pass him to the bottom in turns 1 and 2 that last time through. Harvick on the inside of his teammate Almirola, who was also in the top 10. Briscoe didn't short pit. He would be up there. Harvick shouldn't have to pit early because of his right rear tire. Backing up the middle of the corner. In contact with Brad Keselowski in the 6. He's trying to get by Bubba Wallace right now. Almost got into the back of the 23. Carjoy, thanks for tuning in. No, just the one race tonight. Joey Logano pitting from 6th. Definitely a lot of different strategies. We haven't seen a whole plethora of cars come in. Just very few drivers have made their final stop. We're down under 50 laps to go. Because it's a 50% race. That's why the title says 50% race. I just had time for one today. That's why I started at 7 though also. Byron is in the pits. Winner of stage 1 and stage 2. Oh, I thought I saw a car get turned there for a second. They were angled pretty awkwardly trying to get into the pits. And it would be Busher, who was 3rd at the end of the last stage. Harvick's losing a lot of time right now, staying out of the pits. He's going to get some time back when he does decide to pit. Is he going to be able to pass the cars quick enough by the time he cycles out? Would be the next question. And again, you don't want to risk a caution coming out and just getting trapped many laps down. Caution comes out, you can definitely pit under the yellow, and all those drivers that already pitted will have lost so much time. Custer using Greg Biffle up. Everybody's using Biffle up in this race, I've noticed. Swiss 1200 Gaming, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the comment also. Corey Freed, also welcome into the stream. Harvick checking up in the middle of the corner quite a bit to keep it off of the 44. Reddick in 2nd. He's actually battling with Custer, and Reddick will pit. So Custer into 2nd all alone. So Harvick is about to put a lap. Oh, and caution is out. Caution flag is out, and that's exactly why Kevin Harvick stayed out as long as he did, in case we saw it. We ended up getting it, and now he'll pit. And we're not sure if he's going to be a lap ahead of the entire field or not with a scoring error. We know Custer was technically on the lead lap, but we'll have to wait and see how this is all going to play out on the restart. Well, Harvick definitely going to pit. It'll be a 2nd and final stop of the race. And this is the 9th caution of the day and the first caution we have seen in the final stage. And there are a lot of other cars in the pits. Probably didn't pit prior to the yellow coming out. Green flag back in the air. Quite a few probably stayed out of the pits. Harvick trying to get out of harm's way right now. And it's going to be pretty difficult when they're 2 and 3 wide in front of him. A lot of contact off the exit of the corner into the back of Cody Ware. Now contact with Stenhouse. We've got a spinner in the corner. I think Ryan Blaney ended up spinning out. We have a caution. Back-to-back yellows all of a sudden. And that was caution number 10. Green flag back in the air. I didn't have control till like just after the start-finish line that time. Well, Harvick back in the lead. Looking to keep pace. Stenhouse in the 47 right on his back bumper. Caution again further back in the field. Harvick will stay out again. Green flag back in the air. Laps are starting to wind down with all these yellows late in the race. Stenhouse in the 47 up high. Christopher Bell right in line behind Harvick. Stenhouse blows by Kevin Harvick in the 4. Got the wall off the exit of the corner. And they're going to get a green flag lap in the restart that time. Cole Custer in 2nd place, closing in behind Harvick. Is he on the lead lap still? If so, it might be an SHR battle for the win at Richmond. 23 laps remain. Will we stay green to the end of the race? Lap car of Stenhouse in the way. Harvick trying to get by him, but can't. Off the exit of the corner, side by side. Custer only a second off of Harvick. We don't know if they're on the lead lap or not altogether. Harvick throws it into the corner trying to get by Stenhouse. Barely cleared him off turn 2. Corey LaJoie in the 7 starting to get a run. He'll get to the inside of Stenhouse. Door to door off turn 4. 21 laps left at the line for Harvick. Might be up multiple laps. That's possible. Oh my goodness, Corey LaJoie out of nowhere sent it into the corner on Kevin Harvick. Caution comes out immediately after. I think they stacked up further back behind him. And we have a caution. And Custer just got back around Kevin Harvick, so he may be on the lead lap again. Not entirely sure. I think he may be on the lead lap. Green flag back in the air. Custer might have a shot to win now. You can thank Corey LaJoie for that. Custer to the outside for the lead. Harvick stays in front. If the 41 obviously is on the lead lap or not, we still don't know. Tattoo Wheels Garage, thanks for tuning in. Down to 13 laps left. 3 cautions late in the stage. The only 3 cautions of the final stage thus far. Tied with stage 2 for the amount of cautions we had then. Harvick deep into the corner, maybe a little too deep. Running that middle upper groove. Starting to pull away from Custer though. Custer put up a battle those first couple laps on the restart. 11 laps to go. Custer wants a win to get into the playoffs. Kevin Harvick looking for his 3rd win in the first 7 races. Trying to do what he did in real life this season, and that is win at Richmond. He did finish 2nd in the first one, though, so hopefully we don't finish 2nd tonight. Custer a little quicker that last lap than Harvick, but Harvick... I don't know if the AI shipped on the short tracks or not either. I feel more competitive on the short tracks. Maybe that's an advantage for me. Who knows? I agree with you, Davion. I'd like more night races too. Oh, Harvick in the wall. Off the exit of the corner. Custer closing in just a little bit again. Harvick getting tight all of a sudden. He about got in the wall again off turn 4. He was able to lift in time though that round. It's only the 2nd time Harvick has hit the wall on his own today. 3 times total considering LaJoie stuffed him into the wall just before that last caution came out. R6, thanks for tuning in. Custer 2nd behind Harvick again, 7 to go. Harvick pushing extremely hard. He's been running this middle to upper groove for the last handful of laps. It's working out alright, I guess. I don't know what's faster at this point. Custer was close enough to try to get underneath Kevin Harvick. It'd be a little bit risky to run that lane. And run that line in the corner. Had 2 overtime finishes this season. If we get a late yellow, we'll definitely go past the regular scheduled distance for this race tonight. Shifted a little too quick, and again Harvick lifts off turn 4. 5 to go. Made a few extra mental errors late in this race. Custer pulling away from the pack of cars behind him, but he's not really closing in a whole lot on Harvick. It's going to be the second top 3 finish for Cole Custer this season as well. He may get his second career win this year. Not in real life, I'm talking this, although you never know. The way this season's gone. Blaney is up to 9th. I see Byron in 5th. Again, he won the first 2 stages of the night, for those of you wondering. Down to 3 laps to go and about a 2.5 second lead for Harvick over Custer. Harvick really starting to pull away from the 41. Caution is out with 3 to go. And we are going to overtime for the 3rd time this year. Now we've been seeing caution after caution quite a bit. Custer's got some damage. I wonder if he brought the yellow out. Green flag back in the air. Harvick trying to hold on. Can he do so? And will they make it back to the white flag? Custer has a car underneath him. That's Keselowski in 6th. Through 3 and 4, will they get to the white flag? And they will. White flag in the air. 1 lap to go for Kevin Harvick. 5 laps past the scheduled distance is all we're going to go. And Kevin Harvick will survive an overtime restart to win at Richmond. A little help with Keselowski battling Custer on the restart. But Kevin Harvick is going to go to victory lane at Richmond. 3rd win of the season for the 4. Career win number 61 for Kevin Harvick. Started on the pole, finished 2nd in both stages, won the race, and it ended up being by a lap over Custer. He wasn't even on the lead lap the entire time, but we didn't know, so... Yeah, that caution came out in the middle of green flag stops. That trapped everybody a lap down. Custer was actually on the lead lap when the caution came out, which is why he's a lap ahead of everybody else behind him. But I was ahead of the start-finish line when the yellow came out, so it trapped him a lap down. It's just how the game goes. We were trapped, well, I mean, we were 3 laps down on William Byron after stage 1. Made all of it up in stage 2 because of getting in front of him, having cautions come out repeatedly, and that obviously got us back in contention in the first place. And obviously, Byron, despite having that big of a lead, still ended up not winning the race. So luckily we were able to get back when we did. We kept fighting, didn't have to restart the race, and we got in there. So I don't like restarting it. I've had to do that twice this season for stability reasons. And one day we had to just completely postpone the stream to the next night because it was pretty rough. But needless to say, that was in the past. Pretty good race tonight, at least from a racing standpoint. We did have quite a few cautions. Wish we could have had a little bit more green flag racing, but we did have some long green flag runs in the second 2 stages at least. So we did get to see some good racing in there at times throughout the course of the race. But yeah, 1-2 finish for SHR. Cole Custer ends up 2nd behind his teammate Kevin Harvick. Tyler Reddick with a solid run finishes 3rd. Chris Buescher with a lot of stage points today finishes 4th. And your stage 1 and 2 winner, William Byron, will round out the top 5 in 5th. Brad Keselowski with a great run at 6th, so both RFK cars finish in the top 10. Austin Cindric in 7th. Good run for the rookie there. Kurt Busch 8th. Ty Dillon in 9th. Great run for that Petty GMS Chevrolet. And Kyle Larson will round out the top 10. He came back from fairly deep in the field on those late race restarts. Hamlin was the driver who fell outside the top 10. I think Blaney was 9th on one of the late restarts, and Blaney actually DNF'd. I think he brought out that caution that forced overtime. So he went from 9th to 17th because he was so many laps ahead of everybody else. He still finished mid-pack despite DNFing. And he was the only driver that actually failed to finish the race tonight. Bowman finished at the very tail end of the field. Kyle Busch, 36th. They were on the wrong side of the cautions. Chastain, 31st after starting top 10. Truex also started towards the front, finished 27th. Briscoe, I mean, he was in the top 5 very early in the race. Had a lot of stage points. Finished further back as well. So it's going to be a tighter battle between Byron and Harvick. If I'm thinking correctly, we came in 6 points behind Harvick. Harvick came in 6 points behind Byron. Lost 2 in the stages because Byron had 20 stage points. Harvick had 18. That would have put us 8 points back into the final stage. Harvick gets 40 for his race finishing results. Byron would get 32. So I believe if I do my math correctly, we have a tie for the regular season championship lead after 7 races between Kevin Harvick and William Byron. And Martin Truex Jr., who was only 4 points behind Byron, ended up finishing back at 27th. He only gets 10 points for his finish. He did finish 5th at stage 1. I can't remember if he had stage points at stage 2 or not, but he did get some stage points today, but not a great finish, so he is definitely not up there with the top 2 anymore. But Byron had a great day, so we had to have a great day to keep up with him. We won the race, and now we're tied for the points lead, and we head into Martinsville on Monday night. As far as tomorrow night, be sure to tune in at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on NASCAR 6 for our Cup Series custom schedule season. And for that race, it is at the Talladega Infield Road Course, a roval at Talladega, and it's under the lights as well. You won't want to miss a thing. It's going to be action-packed, to say the least, as all but one race has been on the NASCAR 06 season thus far through 6 races. It has been wildly chaotic every single race, but with a lot of good racing mixed in, obviously, as well. Levi Ketchum, Cackling, you happy and crappy, thanks for tuning in there towards the end of the race as well. But yeah, thanks for everybody tuning in. I guess we have to sign off, but before that, we get to see Kevin Harvick in Victory Lane, and a Victory Lane animation for the 3rd time this season. I need all the playoff points I can get, because we know how glitchy this game can be. We have finished pretty poorly. Well, I mean, I finished last at Coda despite getting 19 stage points, because we had some sort of a glitch where I literally did not have grip in rear tires once I made my first green flag stop today. But when I pitted during the stage breaks, I didn't have any issues with it. So hopefully we don't have that issue on road courses going forward. If so, stage points are going to mean a lot on the road courses if we're going to win this regular season championship. But it's going to be fun, down to the wire for sure. Chef Food, thanks for tuning in also there towards the end. But thanks to everybody tuning in. Again, hit that like button, subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. I'll see you guys tomorrow night, NASCAR 6, Talladega Road Course. Again, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard start time, and it should be another good race. We've had a lot of great racing on the channel over the last week and a half. Outside of Coda a couple nights ago, which we had great racing until that glitch ended up happening. With this game and with NASCAR 6, we've had crazy good races thus far. I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Again, have a good rest of your Wednesday evening.